ethnomedicine, happy marital life, theory of anxiety, management of Alzheimer's disease, and so on. We cordially welcome our chief guest, Dr. Nagaratna, Medical Director of Arogyadhama Vyasa, and a renounced yoga practitioner. We have three guests of honor: Dr. Catherine Rossi, neuroscientist and yogini from Psychosocial Genomics Research Institute, USA; Dr. Latifa Saiful Yazan from Department of Biomedical Science, University of Putra, Malaysia; and Dr. Srinivasan Rangarajan from Medical University of the Americas, West Indies. Plenary sessions will witness psychologists, psychiatrists, biotechnologists, bioinformaticians, and neuroscientists. We have oral and poster presentation on public health and neuroscience, given a platform to budding researchers to share their ideas with like-minded people. Also, we have a session on creative articles. Tomorrow, the second day, will be starting with a special yoga session under the supervision of our enthusiastic team. Bengaluru is a city of gardens. Delegates who have come from outside Bangalore could explore some of the historical places, attractive gardens, national park, art galleries, and science museum. The cover page of our abstract book depicts an ancient, well-engineered temple in Bangalore. I wish you all a warmth and happy stay. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. Thank you.
She was working as a dean in Eswasa University, Yoga and Life Science Department, and she was a medical officer at Vivekananda Kendra Yoga Chikitsa Nilayam at Kanyakumari, and she also served as a Register of Rheumatology, Wesleyan Hospital in UK. She has more than 50 research articles in index journals, national and international, on asthma, diabetes, heart disease, back pain, cancer, arthritis, multiple sclerosis, pregnancy, menopause, polycystic ovaries, anxiety, depression, and schizophrenia, and many more. I would like Dr. Nagaratna to give the keynote for the conference.
The first part for the A component, second part for the U component, third part for the M component, and fourth part for the silence. That means almost midway in your breathing out time, you would have started the part of it. Therefore, please, but don't say Aum. Don't separate the syllables. It goes as Om. But your mind goes to those three components of the trunk and the head. Let us chant 3 times. Take a deep breath. Feel comfortable. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಜೋರಾಗೆ Let us begin this program. What I hope to do? What I hope to do in this half an hour of my presentation is to give you an overview of what Indian knowledge can contribute to this area of mental health and neurosciences, because the entire mind-body complex is controlled by the brain and the mind. Therefore, you are the people who are going to give a lead to the world by giving this holistic concept of how to prevent health problems, treat health problems, and promote positive wellness by handling the mind, which in turn controls the brain, which in turn controls the endocrines, which in turn controls the entire body-mind complex. Therefore, we are all very familiar with this definition of total health, which Indian language is called Swastha. Swastha, be established in yourself. That is the final and the total health definition, which is put in the World Health Organization definition as not mere absence of disease, but it is a wellness at the physical level, mental level, social level, and spiritual level. And you, as promoters of mind and brain, know that if we can improve the social health, mental health, and spiritual health of an individual, the physical health of present day problems of psychosomatics can be easily taken care of. And this is what we are seeing today in the present day world, where we were in the world as health professionals working intensively on communicable problems, communicable health diseases, thanks to medical science, which has almost brought us to the world where we are having to deal only with NCDs, non-communicable diseases, which have become the major killers of the land per day, and we know that all these are traceable to lifestyle. We talk about, you go to any of the present day problems, starting from a psychiatric illness, which is said to be due to a chemical imbalance, right up to a physical illness, a psychosomatic illness, or the modern epidemics of NCDs. For all these, we now very clearly know lifestyle is a major contributing factor which unfolds the genetic tendency in a person. What the lifestyle does is to unfold express the gene that we have carried. Cancer may be a genetic disease, or a schizophrenia may be genetic disease, but it is the lifestyle that unfolds the gene, makes the gene to express. That is the present day knowledge about epigenetics, which is talking about expression of a gene by the environment that we create, nurture and nature. So, in all these conditions, we talk about lifestyle, which has 4 components. So, this is something that is modifiable. Gene, we said, is non-modifiable, but even that has become modifiable today's understanding, because if you change the lifestyle, then the gene becomes dormant, gene sleeps. Therefore, it is very important to work on the lifestyle, which consists of all those 4 factors. But can you, as psychologists, see that how important the mind is in each one of these factors? All diabetics, all obese people, all cancer patients, all psychiatric patients know how important diet is. But why is the disease? Why are the NCDs going on increasing? Because of the mind. Exercise, mind. Stress, mind. Drinking, smoking, alcohol, addictions, mind. Therefore, the whole thing is traceable to mind, which is the root cause of the problem. So, in all these modern NCDs, which have taken epidemic proportions, be it a psychiatric problem or a physical illness, in all these, mind forms the root cause, and diseases are all sitting on the branches. It may be autonomic nervous imbalance, or a voluntary nervous imbalance, or directly a psychiatric chemical imbalance, or an early aging change, or an immune system disorder. In all these, the root cause is the mind. Therefore, let us straight away go on to understand what this mind is all about, as you are all experts in understanding the mind, handling the mind, changing their behavior patterns, CBDs, which you are doing day in and day out. Let us go into what the sages want to tell us about this mind, handling the mind, managing the mind, techniques for mind management, etc. If we look at all these problems of health, be it at the mind or the body or the nervous system, traceable to the mind, which component of the mind is the problem? The component of the mind obviously is the long-standing, persistent, emotional responses that we have to go through in our life to demanding situations of life. Therefore, the definition of stress itself is not the actual demanding situations of life which one has to go through. The demanding situations could be an office situation or a family problem, financial problem, calamities, or our own inner drive, inner ambitions, inner sensitivities. These are all the things that we are going to mark out as life events which has triggered off a response. But our definition straight away is not the situation, but it is the response to these demanding situations. And I said this to in one of the talks, one of the delegates said, Madam, its response is healthy, but it's the reaction that is the unhealthy thing. So the reactions in the form of persistent, long-standing, emotional, persistent, suppressed emotions, that is what we're all dealing with every day in our program. And therefore, these responses could be an anger, fear, phobia, or tension, suffocation, feeling, depression, suppressions. All these are what we try to unfold in our interview program, in our counseling program, in our initial interaction program. So mark out what are all the responses which are persistingly hanging on unknowingly in the subconscious mind of the person, which is our job as a counselor and as a worker, and then understand how these can trigger off our hypothalamo-pituitary axis, HPA axis, or SMS axis, sympathomedullary axis. In all these pathways, psycho, neuro, endocrino-immunology is what we talk about. Psychosomatic problems that we talk about, or directly psychiatric problems in which the psyche, the responses, the emotions which got triggered off by demanding situations created a chemical imbalance in the brain leading to some psychotic response. But all these are still physical. Even a chemical imbalance which created a psychosis is a physical response to a psychologically demanding situation to which the person responded initially, which might have led to this problem. Therefore, the pathway is clear, and as it happens in present day lifestyle, we have too many of these demanding situations. Situation, response, situation, response, situation, reaction, and we have no time to get back to normalcy. What is very important for us to make our participants understand is responses, reactions are not unhealthy. These are necessary, mandatory responses. But the system has to get back to normalcy. In other words, there is a demanding situation, I work hard, do a lot of tenseful work, get angry, irritated, or get tensed up, work from morning till night, lot of tension, lot of worry. But if I go back and have a relaxed time with our family for 2-3 hours, and then have a good night's sleep for 6-7 hours, the system gets back to normalcy. It will not get damaged. It will remain healthy for the next 100 years of one's life. But what is happening in today's lifestyle is we don't have time to get back to normalcy, which keeps the activated component of our psychoneuroimmunological system in a heightened way, and that is what is causing the problem. And this is what we mean by acute stressors, which causes an immediate response, is helpful, is protective, but only when it becomes chronic, it can lead to a lot of psychosomatic problems also. And therefore, we have a new language with these psychological situations where all these diseases, be it hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, back pain, is nothing but a habituated, persistent response pattern. So a diabetes is nothing other than a alcoholic addiction. have got addicted to a response, which has triggered off a neurochemical response, and that is got stuck as a response which has led to a insulin resistance, or which has led to a hypertension, or which has led to a back pain and muscle pain, or has led to a chemical imbalance in the brain, causing a psychotic response. So it's a habit, bad habit of reacting. This is what our youngsters do, is it not? They are finished with their exam, they were working very hard, very tense, very excited, but after the exam is over, they cannot get back to normalcy. They are again hyper, they want intense entertainment, intense activity, or go get drunk, so that the mind cannot rest in peace. This is the activated, habituated response pattern that we all have understood, and this is what we are all trying to work with these participants to help them to participate in their own healing. Two concepts from the Indian thought which are very, very valuable to take us further into how to manage this. We have a lot of Western psychological methodology which have helped us to move on from a time when we thought that we were all like animals and wanted to change the behavior of persons by giving shocks and currents, to a place where we are moved on to CBT, where we want to change the cognitive behavior of a person. But what were the Indian thought, what were the Indian sages thought about how to change this response pattern, what are all the techniques that are out there, and therefore they started asking us, giving us first a definition of mind. What is the definition of mind? In a very simple, introspective, layman's language, what is mind? Mind is nothing but thinking. So thinking goes on in sentences. So sentences, related topic, arranged in a particular sequence, in a particular pattern, is the definition of mind. So these sentences are made of words. So one word, one thought. So mind, by definition, is nothing but conglomeration of thoughts arranged in a particular sequence, particular order, in particular pattern, and this pattern could change from topic to topic. If you are doing an intellectual work, you call it as intellectual logical thinking. If you are arranging these words in an emotional topic, you call it an emotion. So these are all the functions of the mind: intellect, memory, grasping, understanding, analyzing, playing our emotions. These are all the different components. Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. These are the four components of the mind as described in Sankhya. Out of this, which is the component which we could call as a stress response? Obviously, it is the emotions. So in all these emotions, there is lot of violence inside. They classified all our emotions under Shadripus, 6 enemies of mankind: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. And these are the 6 enemies of mankind, as they called it. And in all these, they wanted to make us understand that it is all in the mind component of our personality. So we all have 5 components of our personality: the physical body, the structure, the cells, the chemicals, calcium, potassium, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, with which we are all like a permutation, combination in various proteins, chemicals, carbohydrates, hormones, etc., is the physical body, which they called as Annamaya Kosha. This Annamaya Kosha, the solid matter, how is it different from the dead body, which also has the same chemicals? This is a live body. So the life energy, the prana, that makes every cell do its job, function with the right quantum of life energy being supplied at the right time for the right quantum of work, is the pranamaya kosha, or the life energy body. Behind this is our mind. Dead body or living body, a vegetative living body, is not a full human being. So he needs his mind. So the mind component of our existence is called the Manomaya Kosha, where we grasp and play our emotions. These are the two major functions of our mind. And behind this is our inner mind, or the Vijnanamaya Kosha, which continuously guides us. We all have two minds. As you are now listening also, there is an inner mind which is probably thinking of what is happening to your child whom you have left at home, or maybe telling you, yeah, I have read this before, she is repeating this lecture million times, I have heard this before. Your inner mind is doing lot of thinking, no. And this is the right knowledge, which is the memory knowledge, which is the storehouse of all our memories. So what we talk about as subconscious mind, deep-seated mind, which we are really unfolding in all our counseling sessions that we are pulling out, is all the Vijnanamaya Kosha, the storehouse of the memory imprints, which has the right knowledge, storehouse of all our good memories, bad memories, which also is the seat of the observer I. The I am having this right knowledge, but my mind is pulling me. A diabetic, for example, he sees a very interesting sweet on the desk, and his mind says, oh, I love it, I would love to have it. Emotion, attraction, and he takes his hand there. Immediately the observer mind, the inner I, using the right knowledge, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, says, sorry, your blood sugar was 300 yesterday, you cannot eat this sweet. So my hand comes back, my mind comes back, but we suppress that. A suppressed emotion can lead to a lot of emotional, suppressed emotional health issues, is what we have all understood. So Vijnanamaya Kosha. Why? The purpose of life, meaning of life, is to be blissful all the time. Pariname sukhameva, pariname vishameva. In the long run, eating this sweet is going to be making you unhappy. Therefore, you are not going to take this sweet, is what your Vijnanamaya Kosha is telling your body, which is trying to go there, mind which is trying to push you there, using the prana. This is the understanding of our 5 aspects of our personality. Therefore, the goal of life, goal of health, goal of swastha sthiti is to remain in that blissful awareness under all circumstances. Be it an irritating situation or provoking situation or a happy situation or a normal situation, under all circumstances, even when the physical body is giving trouble. This is what we tell our cancer patients. Your body has got cancer, it may die tomorrow, but you have a component within you which is eternal, which is blissful. For example, when you as a cancer patient, also when you are sleeping, what are you? You are that blissful, quiet, rested, non-suffering person, which is the healer within. But cancer patient just by sleeping cannot heal himself. But if a yoga technique is given where he can consciously enter into that Anandamaya Kosha, enter into his Vijnanamaya Kosha, where he is totally able to switch off his mind, totally able to withdraw himself from the body and heal himself. This is the whole of the conceptual basis that we use in therapeutic situations. The Bhagavad Gita beautifully portrays that in a beautiful sloka, and therefore, what do we understand? That in all these conditions, there is one common factor, that is the emotion, and therefore the solution is to emotional stability and change our response pattern. Kartum, akartum, anyatha kartum yogyata. To react, not to react, or not to suppress also, but change the response pattern is the whole of the conceptual basis of the therapy that we have to implement in all these cases. And how do we do this? We do this by this understanding that we should be able to help them to go to that response, to change the response, by slowing down the mind. That is the definition of yoga. In all these responses, be it anger, fear, tension, worry, depression, excitement, expressed, suppressed, or recognized, unrecognized, there is enormous violence inside, speed inside. Therefore, another very, very important definition of stress that we get from all these texts, be it an anger, fear, worry, depression, frustration, one common underlying thought that happens is there is enormous vega, violence inside, speeded up, uncontrolled, speeded up, rewinding of sentences in the mind is the definition of this stress. Uncontrolled, speeded up, rewinding of sentences. Example, I am extremely anxious to go and face an exam. What is happening in my mind? Oh, important exam, I have to do very well. What if I don't do very well? What if I don't get 95% mark? 4 sentences. It helped me 2 months back to prepare for the exam. But now as I am entering the exam hall, I am extremely anxious. What are the thoughts in the mind? Oh, important exam, how I wish I do very well. What if I don't do very well? Same sentence. But why do you call it anxiety now? Because, my God, important exam, how I do very well or not? What if I don't do very well? What if I don't do very well? What if I don't do? My God, I can't do. I don't think I can do it. What if I don't do very well? What if I don't do very well? Just the sentences rewinding at a very fast pace, I lose mastery over that. This is the whole of the understanding that the sage is trying to portray when he says that mind is the master of the entire mind-body situation, whether for social health, mental health, physical health, or emotional health or spiritual health. The problem is uncontrolled vega, therefore the answer is slowing down. Slow down the mind. Manaha prashamana upayaha. So the whole of the message that Vasishtha is giving us as a yoga program, as a yoga definition, is that word prashamana. Shaman karo. Shamana, ಅಗ್ನಿ ಉರಿತಾ ಇದೆ, ಶಮನ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ವೇಗ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರಶಮನ, ಪ್ರಕೃಷ್ಟೇನ ಶಮನ. ಮನಃ ಪ್ರಶಮನ, ಉಪಾಯ. Okay, I know all this. All our participants tell us, I know madam, how violent my mind is. It's going here, I can't control it. What can I do? Therefore, here is the greatest extra contribution from the Indian science, that they have given us many upayas, many techniques, 100 techniques, 5,000 years of research on these techniques of mind management is the greatest add-on contribution that the sage is going to give us, and therefore it is the rest that is the healer. We conduct a program called Self-Management of Excessive Tension SMET program, which is a very popular program in which we have demonstrated that if somebody sleeps for 6 hours, he gets about 9% rest. If he does Shavasana, he gets about 12% rest in 22 minutes. If he does this intensive program called Avartana Dhyana or cyclic meditation, he gets about 32% rest. Therefore, what is yoga? Conscious, wakeful, deep inner rest to the mind-body complex. Nidra, yoga nidra. Yoga nidra is wakeful sleep. So what is yoga? Yoga is wakeful sleep. And therefore, we teach them many of these techniques called instant relaxation technique, quick relaxation technique, deep relaxation technique, DRT, cyclic meditation, CM, Om meditation, all these to help them to become aware of their mind and feel the inner mind-body complex and go into deep, deep, deep inner rest, and that is what helps them to become a master of the mind. This is Patanjali's definition of yoga, mastery over the mind, and come to a state of total balance. This is the third definition from Krishna. We have just celebrated Gita Jayanti yesterday, where the greatest knowledge base for entire humanity, a live knowledge base from Bhagavad Gita by Krishna, where he says, Samatvam yoga uchyate, balance is yoga, equanimity is yoga, stability is yoga. No situation can upset you. No situation can evoke a response and then suppress it, which is the biggest problem for all psychosomatic and psychiatric problems. So no response, be a master of the response and use the response when required and switch off when not required. So anger welcome, anger bye-bye. Bhaya welcome, bhaya bye-bye. Tension welcome, tension bye-bye. I am a master. I never lose my balanced state of mind is what our participant has to achieve through what? How? Not only by psychological technique, but we need many of these techniques. This is the whole of the knowledge base. So, for achieving the state of total mastery through slowing down and bring about a balance, we need many of these techniques. Technique may be a healthy diet. The first and the foremost thing, today's present day science has taken 40 to 50 years of nutritional research to tell that human beings are not made to be non-vegetarians. Our system is going to get damaged through heart attacks, cancer, obesity, etc., if you take animal fat and junk food. But the sages said, not only this physical damage, but look at the effect of food on the mind. What is the effect of food on the mind is being talked about at great length in the yoga practices. So that which calms down the mind is a simple, vegetarian, wholesome, freshly cooked, non-preserved, non-prepared by a healthy mind, served in good company and eaten in a good company without watching the action movies. Then comes the cleansing techniques, all the detoxifying practices, cleanse the nose, cleanse the stomach, cleanse the eyes, cleanse the brain, Kapalabhati, which has been made very popular by Ramdev Baba, asanas, which are meant to directly feel the stretch in the part of the body that has got the sickness and release the tension and the vega that is locked up in that area is the principle of doing a specifically selected asana for the specific disease. Pranayama, the breathing practices. Breathing is the link between the mind and the body. Therefore, if people have difficulty with time, just tell them do abdominal breathing 100 times in a day, several times in a day. You are traveling in a taxi, observe your abdominal breathing. Breathing is the best way to calm down the mind and relax the body. So, therefore, breathing practices. Then comes meditation, several types of meditation. And analysis, yogic counseling, yogic way of understanding what is the purpose and meaning of life, how in every component of my action I can see the effect on the mind, how to handle the mind. I give you a simple example. I had a patient with diabetes who was taking 100 units of insulin. He comes here, he has stopped it and now it is 5 years, no medication at all. A diabetic for 15-20 years, taking insulin for almost 2-3 years, now off all insulin, all medication for last 5 years. I asked him, sir, you have understood all about lifestyle, you are a highly educated person, knowledgeable person, he was not overweight, all the 4 components of lifestyle, diet, bad habits, no bad habits, very good exercise, he was also doing asanas, but his sugar was high, insulin was high, and doctor and the best of the doctors, his consultant would sit in Jocelyn in Boston. The doctor say that nothing more can be done because you have done everything. Then your insulin production capacity is not good. Therefore, you have to be depending on insulin. This man comes and he is now off insulin rejuvenated his pancreas. I asked him, sir, tell me what helped you? He says, it's just this understanding that made all the difference. What did you understand? See, madam, I have worked on my diet. I have a very strong willpower. I am not even 1 kg overweight. I am not